Join me today for a review of a BattleTech short story, Way of the Ghost Dog by Bryan Young. This is the Geek Cabal channel. My name is Bobbie, and today we're going to be talking about a BattleTech short story, Way of the Ghost Dog by Bryan Young. As of this recording, this short story is free on the Catalyst web store, and there'll be a link down in the description to that. So it's kind of hard to not spoil it because it's only like 10-12 pages long. So I'm going to try to not like super spoil it, but also not just like essentially read the story to you here. So I've reviewed some of Bryan Young's other works here on the channel. I like his writing. This is another, I thought this was a decent short story. It was a good short story. It was entertaining. I shouldn't say decent, because I know in my reviews on things, the way I talk about things, it comes across like, hey, it's all right, it's all right. I know this is like completely counter to the way YouTube functions for most people, but it takes a lot to actually get like a rise out of me. So I just don't have the big bombastic personality, which is probably working against me here, but oh well. So no, it was an entertaining read. So don't take my comments to be like, oh, what's wrong with it? It's an entertaining read. Plus it'll take you about 10 minutes to read it. So it features the Ghost Dogs, who are an offshoot of the Kell Hounds, or at least some former Kell Hounds. And they do apparently feature in a couple of other novellas, if I read the background correctly, and which I have not read, so I can't comment on those. Hopefully those will all wind up in print at some point, because I've got the feeling that they're currently only for download. And I personally prefer dead tree format, so that's just me. But anyway, the story was entertaining, and it takes place, this would be in the L Clan era. I believe it was 3152. So, or if not, it's right at the tail end of the Dark Age, but I believe it was 3152. So there's some interesting, like, it took me a minute to realize where the inspiration for the setup almost definitely came from, because the story is told, there's a meeting, and the bulk of the action in the story is in a flashback being described in the meeting, and then there's the latter half of the meeting. And the meeting is very much, if this isn't derived from what I'm about to say, then it's one hell of a coincidence, so I assume it is, but entertainingly so. It's very much set up like the very beginning of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, the meeting at Club Obi-Wan, if I remember right, only this is Club Basilisk. And it's, you know, you got the singer going, you got the people with the exchange, you've got the exchange, some things happen, and you know, one guy's got the waiter who's got the gun under the thing, and you know, although I think it was like in his side pocket or something. And yeah, so I liked that. That was good. And then there's the actual action itself, where the group is fighting pirates because they don't know that they're sitting next to something of incredible value that the mercenaries have been sent in to get. And they weren't told exactly what it was, but that they'd know it when they saw it, kind of deal. And so because of the coloration of their units, which you'll probably see in the thumbnail, you'll see the cover, so you'll see what I'm talking about. The color pink is used somewhat prominently in the logo. So the pirates, their leader, like they describe it to him, and he's like, the fighting salmon, you know. It's like, fighting salmon. Like, yeah, I think I heard of him before. I'm pretty sure he's just making it up. And then of course the mercenaries, they call them, you fighting salmon. They're just fighting salmon. Well, they just kind of roll with it because it's important that no one knows who their employer is. So they just kind of roll with it. So on the off chance Mr. Young sees this, because I believe he has commented on one of the videos for one of his books before here, if you continue to write for this group, you have to include like an actual fighting salmon group at this point, like either like an actual reference to them, like on Galatea at the Mercenary Guild, or them actually running into the ghost dogs, and the main guy being like, well, I'll be damned, kind of, that's got to happen now. It's too irresistible to pass up. So yeah, the action's pretty tight. You get to see the difference between mercenaries that actually know what they're doing and pirates that don't. So action's pretty descriptive. You know what's going on. You also have the ground unit going in and getting the item in question, which I'd be very interested to see like where the recovery of the item goes story-wise, and also the fallout of the meeting, because the exchange does not quite go as planned. And this is the kind of thing that I would think if the mercenaries were smart, they would find a way to have more than one of the item in question to replicate it and sell them. That's what I would do anyway. Now, I don't know the intricacies of replicating this particular item in the BattleTech universe, and I don't want to give away what it is exactly, but yeah, I would like to see where the story goes. Yeah, overall, quick short story, packs a lot in there. You don't need to have a bunch of prior knowledge. You mainly just need to know who the Kellhounds are, even roughly just know that they're a well-known mercenary unit, and yeah, that they're it kind of helped, I assume, if you know who the Draconis Combine and the Lyran Commonwealth are. But yeah, sorry, it's stupid people who should have their licenses revoked over here. Someone just stopped right in the middle of the road because apparently that's where they're going to park to try to get into Arby's. Yeah, they're not going to, and like trying to turn left into it, and there's a line, like they're not just going to pull up, turn around, come from the right, or like come into the other entrance, or kind of get into the restaurant or anything else. They're just going to sit in the middle of the road, and they were blocking another entrance. And now they're just going to block traffic. Wow. Yeah, this person's a special kind of stupid, I see. Well, anyway, sorry for that little diversion there. Yeah, so I would definitely recommend reading it. Like I said, I haven't read the other stories that this relates to, so I might have to check them out now. I got to see how long they are, because like I said, I really don't like reading stories electronically. Like, these short stories are easy, but longer ones, I read one book on my phone, a BattleTech book, oddly enough. What was it? Bonfire of Worlds, because WizKids decided to print the very last book of the Dark Age setting as an ebook instead of actually publishing it. So that was the only way I could actually read it once I finally got to it. And yeah, I still need to buy my actual physical copy now that they have them in print. But yeah, anyway, so that aside, definitely worth checking out. Like I said, I've reviewed a couple of Mr. Young's other books. I like them. I have another one, Without Question, I believe, that I need to get around to reading. But at the moment, I'm reading how the Ilkhan is going to set up the new Star League. So, speaking of the Ilkhan, probably not going to be reading the other book featuring him at the moment. I'll talk about that in another video. But anyway, like I said, worth checking out. Link down in the description. If you read it, let me know what you think. Any other comments you got? Do you want to keep hearing stuff about these short stories? I did find another one buried on the site that I didn't know was there, by Blaine Lee Pardoe. I've got it downloaded. I'm going to be checking it out. A free one. There's a lot of them on there, but this one is free. And I'll link to that one too. I will note that you should read this story like very shortly after I release this video, because I don't know how long it's going to be up there for free. Or at the very least, you should go download it and then, you know, read it at your leisure, obviously. So anyway, let me know down in the comments what you think. If you like this kind of content, like, share, subscribe, all that kind of fun stuff. If you're new to the channel, like, check out the back history. I got a lot of BattleTech stuff on here. A lot of other stuff too. I don't just exclusively do BattleTech, but it's kind of a focus. So more the lore than the game, but you know, it is what it is. So sharing and commenting are the things that really help us grow the channel. I always appreciate it. And obviously subscribing. We have lovely subscribers out there. And yeah, that's about all I got for today, folks, on this one. So just remember, no guts, no galaxy.